Hi, so Usborne has over 2,000 books, so it's very hard for me to narrow down some favorites, but I have some books that I just have to share with you that are my favorites and my son's favorites. The first is All Better, and this is our #1 seller, and this taught my son all about boo-boos. And what you do is there's different Band-Aids, and they take it through, and it says, oh no, dog wasn't looking where he was going. Ouch. Clean it, kiss it, put a bandage on it. And then All Better. And so each page has a different animal and a different boo-boo. And these are reusable, so if they get dirty and lose some of their stickiness, you just run them under cold water and they are good as new. Now, one of our most popular series is the That's Not My series, which has a bunch of different textures, but one of our books is similar that I just absolutely love. This is Animal Hide and Seek, and not only does it have all the different textures, its nose, there's the little doggy, but it also has flaps too. So this is where the cow's hiding, and then the cow has a different texture. So each page has at least one flap and then all sorts of different textures. So that is Animal Hide and Seek. Then my son's current favorite, Nibbles. And Nibbles is so hungry that he eats through classic books. So there's Nibbles. And he is so hungry that he goes through different books. Like this is Goldilocks. And I love that it has different size pages. And it even has little cutouts. He goes through Little Red Riding Hood. And at the very end, well, I'm not going to tell you what happens at the very end. But then you can also get the little plush. And so whenever my son wants to read Nibbles, he will come and get this and bring this to me. Then we have another great book, Jonathan James and the What If Monster. And this is so wonderful for kids that worry or have anxiety. And it's all about the what if, the unknown. And Jonathan James is a little kid and goes about and like this, he's talking about being with his friends. What if they giggle? What if it's chilly? What if you jump and look really silly? And then at the very end, he goes through and what if the chance I take in the end is just how I find my very best friend? So this is great for kids that have anxiety or question everything. And we also have a toy, a what if toy that you can get with this. And then we have our Muddle and Match series. And this is full of different alliterations and different, you can make silly sayings. So this one starts out with Marvin the Mighty Monkey moves towards the mark on the map to meet the mysterious magical meerkat. And you can switch up the different sayings to make it, they can make it their own. And my mom actually tutors elementary kids, and she says that they fight over this book, so I had to order her the entire series. So lots of fun different sayings. Then Tale of Two Beasts, and a lot of times kids can't understand other people's point of views. So this goes through, and it's all about a little girl who goes in the forest and she finds this little animal and she loves him, so she takes him and dresses him up to keep him warm and puts him in a little box with her other stuffed animal to keep him to have some friends around, and just loves on him. Then the second half of the story is all about the beast's point of view. And he sees the little girl in the woods, but his view is she growled at me and tied me up and carried me off to her secret lair. So this is such a good story to teach that there are different viewpoints and to put yourself in somebody else's shoes. Then we have a bunch of books that talk about the body because kids always have questions. Big Book of the Body, and we have a ton of big book. We have Big Book of Dinosaurs, Big Book of Big Machines, but this one is great. It's got huge fold-outs, full of information, but this is great for younger kids because it really simplifies it. So So the more muscles you use, the stronger they get. And it goes over everything from taking a breath to the heart and blood. And again, lots of different fold outs. For little older kids, we have Look Inside Your Body. And our Look Inside series has, again, a lot of different topics. But this has over 100 different flaps. And it goes through lots of different topics. So eating food, we've got staying alive, your different heart and lungs, and what happens when you want to jump. First, your brain sends a message to your muscles telling them to move, and then your muscles pull on your bones. And it has a lot of flaps within flaps, making your knees bend and then stretch, and that makes you jump. So look inside your body. Then for older kids, we have our See Inside series, and See Inside Your Body covers more in-depth information. So it still goes over food, the digestive system, breathing air, but the flaps give a little bit more detailed information. So muscles make up a third of your body weight, and then it goes through and talks about muscle cells. Even your brain power. Your brain is made up of billions of special cells called neurons, and then talks about dendrite and axon and different things. Then we have 100 things for little children to do on a trip, and this comes with different cards that are different activities that they can bring. Anything from 4 in a row, Who Am I, on the beach, and it does come with a white clean marker, but you could even get a white clean crayon, so it's not quite so messy. And what I like to do is just put it on a ring. Keeps it all together, so if you have multiple kids, you can just trade them out. Then we have Story of Inventions, and I love how this is little snippets, so it's not too intimidating with kids reading, but all sorts of different inventions such as the microwave and cooking, even have the toilet, the history and kind of how the toilet was invented. So lots of great information. We also have the story of science. Then A Year in My Life, and this is kind of like a diary. It's 365 entries, but what I love is each one of these has its own prompt. So this one, pretend that you saw a ghost. Was it really scary or really friendly? Draw a picture of your meeting. And then use the frames to create a comic strip about something that happened today. So it kind of gets their brain going so they just don't sit and stare at a blank page. And then the last books that I want to go over are the children's encyclopedias. And this is wonderful because it's got the QR codes that they can look up even more information. So everything from living things to staying healthy, food, all sorts of great information, and it's flex binding, so it'll last longer. And we do have, as a former geography teacher, I have to go over this one, the Geography Encyclopedia, full of information, people of North America, everything from Eastern Europe, even to water and clouds. So these are definitely my must-have books.